basement. Another different setup. I feel like I'm constantly changing the setup on you guys. I hope these trees aren't too distracting. I didn't place them here for this video. They literally stand here regularly in my basement around the holiday season, and I just decided to sit in front of them. So I figured it would be festive. I don't know. But as you can tell by the title, we are gonna do another whisper ramble sort of thing, a story time, if you will. And I'm gonna be talking a little bit about my health journey, weight loss journey, fitness journey, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video really, but I have been talking about it here and there, just, you know, in passing over the last couple of months. And I think I've posted like a picture or two on Instagram, and I have been asked so many times, you know, what are you doing differently? What workouts are you doing? What ways have you changed your diet? And so for a long time now, I've been saying that I was going to make a dedicated video on this subject, you know, what I did and all that. And I'm finally doing it. I will be honest with you, I have put it off for a while now, and I'm not gonna lie, I am very nervous about this video. I don't exactly know why. I guess it's because I'm nervous about people in the comments being like, that's wrong, you're doing that wrong, you're doing that wrong. Let me preface this by saying I had no idea what I was doing when I started like really working out and like changing my diet. I was kind of researching as I went along, and I just found what worked for me. So please don't take this video as, you know, this is law, this is the way to do it. I am just sharing what worked for me personally, and what worked for me may not work for you. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. But yeah, in the last roughly 6 months, I'd say, I've been eating cleaner for the most part, not always, but for the most part, and I've really fell in love with working out, and I have lost 30 pounds. That wasn't necessarily my goal when I first started. I honestly didn't have a goal. My only goal was, let's see if I can actually make a difference and lose like 5 pounds. Let's see if I can do it. That was my goal, and I lost 5 pounds, and I was like, cool, let's do 5 more. And then I lost that, and then I was like, alright, I have more to lose, and now I know how to do it. So 30 just kind of became my goal, but it wasn't, you know, where I started out. And that leads me into my next disclaimer. Please don't take this video as me saying that I had to lose weight, because I didn't. Please don't take it as me thinking that I looked bad before, because I didn't. I am not saying you have to be a certain weight, a certain pant size, a certain whatever to look good, because you don't. In my opinion, as long as you are internally healthy, all the systems are working right, and you feel good, you're doing great. I was not feeling that great when I first started, and so that's why I decided to, you know, start this journey. Okay, so please keep that in mind throughout the whole video. I'm not saying I needed to do this, it was just something that I wanted to do for me personally. Okay, I think I got all my disclaimers out of the way. So, oh, and before I get into the steps, one last thing. I swear, I am going to do a part 2 of this video on my second channel, which is always linked in the description. It's just Samantha Taylor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up to a Q&A, and anything that you may be curious about that I did not touch on in this video, because I'm bad at explaining things sometimes and I will probably miss details. So if there's anything that you are curious about that I didn't talk about in this video, I'm going to answer your questions over on my second channel. So look on my community tab for this channel, my ASMR channel, and I will open it up there at some point for a Q&A. Okay, so keep an eye out for all that. Alright, so I'm just going to go through a few tips. I really did nothing crazy, guys. I really did nothing crazy, but I made a little list on my phone. I have my notes so that I can make sure I touch on the things I want to touch on. And I'm just going to talk you through some of the changes that I made. So let me first say, a change such as like weight loss, the key, and I'm going to sound cheesy because you've probably heard it before, consistency is the key. My biggest pet peeve when it comes to this topic is when I see YouTube videos titled "Get abs in 1 week" or "Lose 15 pounds in 1 week" or 2 weeks. First of all, if you're losing 15 pounds in a week, odds are that's not really healthy. I lost on average a pound to like 2.5 pounds a week, so it was a very subtle weight loss, which a lot of times is the healthiest way to do it from what I've seen and all the articles I've read and stuff, because it helps you maintain that weight loss. So key number 1, consistency. Stick at it. You will not necessarily see results right away. A lot of times other people notice it in you before you do. So be patient with it. If you don't see results within the first like 3 weeks, that's okay. Changes are still happening even if you don't notice it. Okay? So consistency is number 1 with whatever method you choose to do it. My method overall, which I will dive into later, but my main method was to aim to burn more calories through exercise than I consumed. I will dive into that in more detail later, but that was my overall, I don't know, that was the method that I chose. Some people lose weight without even working out. They'll do like a different diet or whatever. Diets don't work for me. They just don't. So that's my point, is that there's many different ways to go about this. But that's the method I chose. So I'm going to start simply. The very first big change, and it's probably the easiest change that I made, was increasing my water intake. So I now drink 1 gallon of water every day, for the most part. Maybe a day or two I'll like slack, but my goal is a gallon of water a day. Water is super good for you. It flushes you out. It helps to keep you more full throughout the day, so you don't necessarily feel like snacking all the time. It's just good for you. It's good for your skin. It's just good for overall health. Water is pretty much all I drink. Now, I'm not a coffee drinker. I know some of you may need your coffee. That's okay. I don't like it. I don't like soda. I don't really drink juice. I prefer, and I'm going to be talking about calories kind of sort of throughout the video, so if that's a trigger for you, then this video just may not be for you, and that's okay. But yeah, I prefer to eat my calories rather than drink them. That makes sense. So water is pretty much the only thing I drink. Now occasionally if I hang out with my friends on a Saturday and I want to have a couple of drinks, that's fine. But it was very easy to avoid that during quarantine because no one was going out, right? So that definitely made it easier for me. But anyway, yeah, water is pretty much all I drink. Gallon a day. I meant to bring my water bottle and I forgot. It's upstairs. glass. So I have a 32-ounce water bottle that I carry around with me literally all day, every day. And I know 32 times 4, 128. So I know 4 of those bottles a day is a gallon. It's just easier for me to keep track. So what I'll usually do is I'll have 1 bottle with breakfast, second bottle I'll drink like half with my lunch, and then I'll just finish it throughout, the day. My third bottle is usually what I drink when I work out. My fourth bottle is dinner, and if I don't finish it with dinner, then I'll finish the second half throughout the night. So that would be my biggest recommendation. Water, it's just so good for you, and it makes you feel good, and it's 0 calories. So along with that kind of is another beverage with also no calories. I don't do this anymore, but I said I was going to tell you everything that I did. I probably stopped doing this 2 months ago, maybe, and that was every morning I would drink a tablespoon and a half of apple cider vinegar with water, whole glass of water, a teaspoon and a half of apple cider vinegar. If you have never had apple cider vinegar, it's really gross. It's really bad. I did it for months. I probably drank apple cider vinegar every month, every day from, I think I started that in like February up until 2 months ago. So I literally did that every day. I just decided not to do it anymore. I could have done the whole weight loss without that. There are some people that think drinking 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar a day and not even like changing your diet or anything, just doing that will help you lose weight. That is false. It's false. Don't buy into it. It's false. There are supposedly other health benefits, blood pressure benefits, and whatever. I don't know. Some people believe that. It's never been fully proven. I don't know. The one good thing about apple cider vinegar, I will say though, was having that be the first thing I put in my body every day. The vinegar curbs your appetite, so you don't necessarily feel like you need to eat right away. So say I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work, which I do every single weekend. I will drink the apple cider vinegar, and then I won't feel like I need to eat right away. Like, that'll keep me full for like 2 hours or so, so that's the one useful thing that comes out of apple cider vinegar, is that it curbs your appetite. Other than that, it's not like a miracle potion that's gonna help you lose weight like some people think it will. You gotta put in the work. There's no magic potion that you can drink and boom, you're gonna lose weight. You know what I mean? At least all that I know of. So, but I did do that. I just didn't feel like buying it anymore, and it's just so gross. So I stopped doing it. But that did help me for a while, I will say. So now going into food. Like I said, diets do not really work for me. So there was not one single thing that I completely cut out. I did not do I'm not gonna have any sugar, I'm not gonna have any carbs. I didn't do that. But I did clean up my eating a lot. I did not count calories, but I was aware roughly of the amount of calories I was eating, if that makes sense. So I wasn't so anal about it. I wasn't tracking everything I was eating, but occasionally I would Google how many calories in a hard-boiled egg, or how many calories in this, and I would just kind of be aware, because on my watch I can track how many calories a day I burn, and so that helped me to compare a lot easier. But I did not track every meal. I did not go that crazy, but I did clean up my eating, like I said, and I found substitutes. So I would eat super clean 6 days a week, and then 1 day a week, it was usually Saturday, if I wanted pizza, I would go get pizza. If I wanted was my day to do it, I wouldn't go crazy, but I would have like a meal that I really wanted, whatever it was, and then like a snack or something, you know what I mean? But the other 6 days out of the week, I would eat very clean. I'm more lenient now because I don't really want to lose any more weight. Now I'm gonna focus on like toning and I guess building more muscle. I don't know. We'll see. That's the next step. We haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, while I was going through this, I cleaned up my eating and I found substitutes. So I'm just gonna throw out examples. Regular potatoes, I didn't eat. I would have sweet potatoes. The couple of times I wanted to make pasta, which wasn't very often, but I did it a few times, I would have like black bean noodles. They look scary because they're black, but they're really good. And they're made out of beans. What else? I didn't really have rice at all. If I did, it was brown rice, you know, so like substitutes. It was also portion sizes. I didn't eat. I used to eat until I was like full and I like wanted to unbutton my pants and I would be like, okay, now I'm done. I stopped doing that. I eat a good portion, you know, a little smaller, but enough to keep me full. And once I'm satisfied, I'm done. I don't need any more food. You know what I mean? So portion control is a big one. For the most part, and this is one of the topics that some people may disagree on, but for the most part, for me, my diet was protein, vegetables, and fruit. That was really it. I really didn't have pasta or rice or potatoes. I did have sweet potatoes kind of a lot, actually, so, okay, potatoes, yeah, I guess I kind of did, but, like, pasta and rice, no, I didn't. I just tried to stay away from it for the most part. Again, not always, but for the most part. Because that stuff also makes me feel very sluggish and very bloated. So every morning to this day, I have 2 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. Usually at least 6 days a week. The other day, maybe I'll have like Greek yogurt because it still has protein, but it's like sweet, so I feel like I'm like treating myself. But for the most part, 95% of the time, every morning, I have 2 hard-boiled eggs and some sort of fruit. Usually it's blueberries, sometimes it's strawberries, sometimes it's some grapes, and my full 32-ounce bottle of water. And that's my breakfast, literally every morning. I'm so used to it now. I crave it if I don't have it. I needed protein because I knew that I would be working out, and I did a pretty lengthy workout, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but I knew I needed that protein. So I would have 2 regular boiled eggs. What I would do is 1 or 2 days a week, I would boil a whole pot of them, and so I had them in the fridge, so in the mornings, they were done. All I had to do was grab them and go. And I would usually take them to work and eat them at work. Lunch, I would have, it's usually chicken breasts, sometimes turkey, and some sort of vegetable. And if I don't have a vegetable, like, for example, I buy like a bag of frozen broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots all in one bag in the freezer section at the supermarket. And I will, the night before, like if I'm packing my lunch for the next day, I will make like a chicken breast, put it in the Tupperware, put a handful or 2 of the vegetable mix, leave it in the fridge, let it thaw. I don't even cook it in the morning. It's thawed, and by lunchtime I can just eat it. That was a go-to. But if I don't have vegetables, or I don't feel like having a salad, then I'll have fruit again. An apple or a kiwi. Kiwis I've actually really like now. I've really gotten into kiwis. And then dinner was kind of whatever, especially because I still live at home with my family, so once a week I would cook, and then another day my mom would cook, and then, you know, we all kind of take turns. But again, mostly chicken. Sometimes, you know, we'd have like pork chops or some sort of like ground beef or of rice or pasta or bread or anything. And then we'd have some sort of vegetable, green beans, Brussels sprouts. People sleep on Brussels sprouts. I promise you, if you cook them right, they're good. I swear. I really like Brussels sprouts. And then again, like substitutes, if I had a salad, I used to be a big ranch and blue cheese girl. Like, drown it in that ranch. That was me. I've substituted it for balsamic vinaigrette, whatever. And it's really good. It's really good. It makes me feel like mature. My voice just cracked. Anyway, and then like speaking of food, I used to be a big snacker. Like, walk into the kitchen because I'm bored and find something to eat kind of snacker. And all that stuff can kind of pile up. So my biggest tip is, if it's not in the house, you can't eat it. So I would only have, a bunch of fruit: grapes, blueberries, strawberries, kiwis, all the stuff I mentioned, raspberries sometimes. And that would be like the only thing I had in the house. So if I wanted a snack, those were really my only options. So other than fruit and like Quaker rice cakes that are like 30 calories each, 30, 40 calories, something like that, outside of that, I really didn't snack at all. And I got used to that. Takes some getting used to. But I got used to just having my 3 meals. And, just working out and burning that off. And then I didn't feel like I needed more. Now, I used to be the worst. I would very, very rarely eat 3 meals a day. It was always 2, sometimes 1, and the rest was like snacking. So I wasn't getting that balance that I needed. I wasn't getting all my protein. I wasn't getting, just everything that you need, like a balanced diet. I wasn't getting that. And so I really had to get into the habit of really eating 3 meals a day, especially if you're going to be working out and burning all those calories. You need the food, or else you're going to get sick, and then that's not healthy. So I cannot stress how important eating your 3 meals a day are. Get your protein in there, get your veggies in there. Fruit is good for you too. Some people will say, fruit has a lot of sugar, and it does. It's like the fructose in the fruit. See, this is where I'm kind of like, do I really know what I'm talking about? I've heard people that are saying, it's sugar from fruit, so it's natural sugar, so it's okay. I've heard other people say sugar is sugar and too much of anything isn't good. So I don't know. But I eat my fruit. I eat a lot of fruit, and it makes me feel good. It's low in calories, and it keeps you pretty full. So I don't know. That's my take on snacking. I will say though, again, like, I didn't rule anything out. So on my birthday was in the summer, I had 3 different celebrations with 3 different groups of people. You best believe I ate my cake. I had like a Carvel cake at one of those. Ate a lot of that. There was one day some family friends came over and brought literally the biggest cheesecake I've ever seen in my life. Cheesecake is my weakness. They left it in the fridge. Best believe I had some every once in a while. But I would have little tiny pieces that were just enough to like satisfy me, or I didn't need to like go overboard. So I'm just saying that to say, you don't have to deprive yourself of your favorite things. You can really, as long as it's done in moderation, and if you're trying to lose weight, you're counterbalancing that with working out and burning it off. You can really eat. It's all about the amount, I hate to say it, but it's the amount of calories you burn and the amount of calories you're putting into your body. So I'm just putting that out there, that I still enjoyed myself. That's all I'm saying. So that's food. I'm gonna look at my list, because I don't want to miss anything. I literally wrote, this is literally a note that I wrote, can cheat every once in a while. You can. Alright, so now let me go workouts. Now, this is the part that is literally subjective and like depends on the person. For example, I do not run. You will never see me get on a treadmill and be like, I'm gonna run 4 miles right now. No. I was the kid that lied in high school, said that I was sick when it came to like running the mile. I don't run. I hate it. I think it's boring. Some people love it. I have a coworker that wakes up like hours before her shift every day and like goes and runs 5 miles, and she loves it. That sounds like my worst nightmare. But if that's your thing, do it. You're gonna burn a lot of calories really fast. I do not do that. So when I first started again, like going 6 months back, and I really was like dead set on, I'm gonna do this thing, I worked out 6 days a week. That's a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you, that is a lot. Normal people do like 3 to 5 days a week. I will say it was very easy for me to do 6 days a week back then because we were in quarantine and we weren't going anywhere. I'm very lucky to have a room literally around this corner right here that's like a little gym. The people that lived in this house before us, the guy was like a big, like beefy man, and he worked out all the time, so he made it into a gym. So when we got the house, like there were already mirrors up, and my stepdad had some equipment already that we brought here. So I'm very lucky. I didn't have to go to a gym. I didn't have to, I do have a gym membership that I keep meaning to cancel because I'm still paying for it and haven't been to a gym in like a year. But anyway, so I was very lucky. You don't need a gym. You just kind of need like a little space in your house, I guess. Depends on your circumstances. But anyway, I'm talking about me, right? So I'll tell you what I did. So I worked out 6 days a week. 5 of those days would be like heavy, intense workout. The 6th day would be walking 2 miles uphill on the treadmill. And then the 7th day was like my day of rest, which was usually Saturday, which was usually my day that I let myself kind of eat whatever. So that was like my me day, my treat myself day. I would be honest with you, now that life is, well, it's definitely not back to normal, but you're kind of allowed to, I guess, do a little bit more and like see your friends every once in a while. I don't work out 6 days in a week anymore. I aim for 5. Aim for it. Lately it's been like 3 or 4 days, which is still good. That's what I'm saying. I just got so used to doing 6 that now I feel like I'm slacking, but I'm really not. Anyway, so I really had to find what worked for me. And one day, I don't know how, I was scrolling through YouTube, like my watch page, and I saw a video by Madfit. You've probably heard me talk about her every once in a while. She's a YouTuber on here. She has, this year, her channel like blew up. I think she's close to like 5 million subscribers now. She probably hit it already, actually. I don't know. But she does all kinds of workouts. She does targeted workouts. She does HIIT workouts. But my personal favorite is she calls them dance party workouts. Now, this is not for everybody, but it's perfect for me. If you don't know, I used to be a dancer way back in the day. For years and years and years. And I loved it, and I miss it every day. And so those videos were perfect for me, are perfect for me. They're literally choreographed workouts. So some of them are super dancey, some of them are dancey, but mixed with squats and planks and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna link. I have like 3 or 4 favorites that I do often, like almost every time I work out. I will have those linked below if you're curious about what I do. I'm gonna be honest with you, the first couple times you do it, you're gonna feel so silly because you're literally in a room by yourself dancing. I literally gasped because there was like definition there. Like I have a muscle there for the first time in my life. I was like, whoa. So that's been cool. We all have like areas of our bodies that we're more self-conscious of than others, and my arms have always been that for me, so that's kind of like a big deal for me, so I'm excited about that. But so that's what I do. So I do a lot. I'm not gonna lie, when I do work out, I'll be down here for like a good hour and a half, but that's because let me see if I can explain this in a way that makes sense. For the amount of calories that I want to burn and the exercises that I'm doing, that's kind of how long I had to work out. Someone who runs 6 miles casually, is going to burn a lot more calories a lot quicker. So it depends on, again, what your goal is, as far as how many calories you want to burn, I guess, and the kind of workout you do. I'm lucky enough to have an Apple Watch. I've had it for a couple years, but this year was the year I really started to use it. So I don't know if you can see, but I have a ring here, and it tells me how many calories I burn, how many minutes of exercise I do a day. So I always aim to get my calories burned over 1,000 calories a day. To some that may be a lot, and I guess it kind of is, but that was my goal, again, to burn more calories than I was consuming. It was usually fairly a lot more than 1,000, but anyway, yeah, so that's the only reason I was able to really keep track of how much I was burning. But if you don't have that, if you don't have a way of tracking it, it's okay. Just find workouts that get your heart going, that get you heavy breathing, but that you like. I literally have fallen in love with Maddie, and I can confidently say that I probably wouldn't have lost the weight that I really lost without her videos. That sounds dramatic, but it's true. I love them. They're fun. She just uploaded actually a Christmas dance party, which I have yet to try. It doesn't look very challenging, so I think that's why I haven't tried it. But I say that, and I'm probably gonna like die when I do it. So that's on her channel. You'll see it if you go to her channel. But it makes me happy. So it's something that I like. Getting in shape. Literally, the first couple times I did her videos, I like couldn't walk the next day. Like, it was bad in a good way. So her videos were literally kick your butt, and she uploads like stretching videos, meditation videos, thigh videos, arm workout videos, the dance parties. The dance parties are like 15 minutes each, and then occasionally she'll pick just one song and have it be like a 3.5 minute short little workout video. And so you like combine them all and do your favorites and whatever. That's what I do. Yeah, so I'll have this linked below if you want to check them out. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Let me check my list. I don't think there was much else I really wanted to talk about, but those are the biggest changes that I have made. And this is one of the best things I have ever done for myself. My body feels so strong, and I feel good. The one thing I will say, the first one isn't really, I'm not gonna call it a downside. I've had to donate a lot of clothes and buy a lot of clothes. There was one point where I did not have pants that fit me. I was wearing like the same pairs of jeans like every day, so that part was kind of expensive. body how to break that stuff down again, because six or 7 months of 99% of the time eating clean, now when I have something else, my body like freaks out and I get like stomach cramps and, you know, a bad stomach. And so that's kind of sad, because now if I wanted to like treat myself, I get scared too, because I'm scared of the aftermath. So I'm still struggling with how to do that. I also think I want to take a food intolerance test just to see like what my body can't really break down and what it can. That's totally random, but that's something I want to do, because it's not a good feeling. But yeah, so I think that's everything. Again, part 2 will be on my second channel. Look on my soft ASMR community tab. I think I'm gonna post that like when this video goes up, so it should already be there when you're watching this. So anything that I may have said that was confusing, anything that you maybe wanted me to mention that I didn't, anything that you still have questions about, just go leave it over there, and I will at some point make a part 2 to this video, and I will answer your questions as best as I can. Okay, so again, take everything I said with a grain of salt. That is just what worked for me. So, if you were here just for the rambling, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you were here for the tips, I hope it worked for you, and I hope you find other things that work for you that may not have worked for me. And I wish you luck. It's hard. You're gonna have to work your butt off, but it's fun. And at the end of the day, especially when you start to see progress, it's such a good feeling to feel yourself getting stronger and to see your body, you know, start to change. It's a really good feeling. So anyway, I hope I helped a little bit. But thank you guys so much for watching and for all your support as always, and I will see you in my next video.